Well, good morning, everybody. It's Barb Katie here, and it's another delightful Monday in my neighborhood. I hope the same is true for you. Um, Today is, by design, a lighthearted, happy day. Specifically, I think we need to always take some time to make sure we have that as part of our daily life, at least periodically, more often than not. Find a reason to smile, to giggle, to laugh. Um, Laughter is really the best medicine, and I know some of you are old enough to remember the old Reader's Digest that always had a special section called just that, laughter is the best medicine. No joke. Laughter can relieve stress, it can strengthen your relationships, and even do your body good. We all have certain people in our lives, I think, who join us in laughing with abandon, who come in with the punchline when you didn't even know there was a joke coming. They're just fun people to be around. And it turns out they can help us in benefiting from some serious health benefits from those one-liners. And who doesn't like to share a good laugh with a good friend? Whether you're into corny dad jokes. By the way, did you hear the one about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, but no atmosphere. I know. Don't groan too much. Uh, or you're a little more highbrow in your comedy, letting out the chuckles and the giggles can do your mind and your body a lot of good. I was reading an article over the weekend by Dr. Grace Turek, who is a psychologist who's specializing on understanding the health benefit of a good case of the giggles. What a job to have, huh? To just look at how being lighthearted and happy helps you live your life better. Uh, why does laughter matter so much? Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we live our lives on the edge, and sometimes that's not in a fun way. There's certainly a lot of literature that shows that in this hemisphere of the world, anyway, uh, North America, we tend to be, it seems like always more or less living in a flight situation. Uh, Evolutionary, that's not what we were meant to do. Flight or fight is our natural stress response that allows us to run away from a saber-toothed tiger. And as far as I know, there aren't any saber-toothed tigers in West Virginia at the present time. It's supposed to be a short-lived response, but for many of us, stress living day to day seems to be continuing that response all the time. That flight or flight mentality is the work of our sympathetic nervous system. Its job is to swoop in a dangerous situation and psych you up to keep you safe. Your breathing gets shallow, your heart pounds, and your pupils dilate. Researchers say that long term activation of a stress system can cause serious health implications. And some of these are increased risk of obesity, heart disease, cancer, and a variety of other illnesses being in a constant state of stress. On the opposite side of the equation, our parasympathetic nervous system, which is sort of your chill out mode, comes from uh, a response that says rest and digest, where you're living on your sympathetic nervous system vibes, your body begins to sort of slow its roll. Your heart rate lowers and your breath becomes easier. You just sort of chill out. Uh, the parasympathetic nervous system kicks into gear when your body knows you're not in danger and that it can safely lower its guard. Things like deep breathing, mild exercise, and yes, even laughter can cue your nerves to calm themselves and give your flight or fight response a much needed break. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm having a meeting with my parasympathetic nervous system, and I'm chilling out today. Haven't chilled out in quite some time, and it just felt like on this beautiful day, it was an ideal time to do that. And I thought, how better to do it than reflect on laughter? Because I absolutely love to enjoy life and I can find amusing things almost anywhere. Uh, so, one of the things that I know for sure is the thing we just talked about, that laughter is absolutely good for uh, your health, for stress relief. Um, my dad used to tell me when I was looking at people, he's always look at their eyes and make sure that they have laugh lines around their eyes. That's the person you want to stay close to because they know how to embrace the joy of life. And I find that to be very true. You know, you see people when they grin, their eyes sort of crinkle up in the corner, sort of like Santa Claus does, and you just want to hang with that person. Sharing fun times and laughter with our friends and our family, or even strangers that just need a lift of spirit too. No matter how you share the time will lower your stress level. Letting out a good laugh makes you feel more relaxed because it disarms your nervous system. If you think about a moment when you were finding humor in life, it can be like nothing else mattered but that genuine joy that you were feeling. And sometimes you just have to share it with somebody else. We all need that sometimes. Uh, Another good thing about laughter is it strengthens social bonds. It's one of the top traits people cite when talking about a prospective partner or a really good fit friend, a good sense of humor. And there's a reason for that. Humans are social creatures, and sharing good times is one way we find our community. Humor and laughter naturally create bonds between us. Say you're meeting someone new. If you can throw a little bit of humor into it and give them a smile, make them laugh. It's like, okay, we get each other. And you start to feel at the very beginning like you can be your authentic self with that person and you don't have to put on any pretense at all. You can just relax and be. Another thing that laughter is really good for is increasing oxygen to your body. When you laugh out loud, and I'm not talking about typing capital L, capital O, capital L in a text message. I'm talking about really laughing out loud, having that gut level response where you laugh with almost your whole body. Um, you bring in heaps of extra oxygen. Have you ever laughed to the point with your friends where you've actually felt exhausted? Well, you find out that you've decreased your heart rate and you've stimulated your entire parasympathetic nervous system in the process. When we get all the oxygen in our organs, our heart rate decreases, brain fog can dissipate. It's the opposite of the stress response. Increased oxygen can help you think more clearly and just allow your body to let go. And I think every one of us in our busy day to day lives could benefit from that process. Uh, Laughter is also good for heart health. Some of the early research suggests that laughter can decrease stress hormones, reduce inflammation of the arteries, and increase HDL. That's the good cholesterol. And I tend to remember that by the H being helpful as opposed to harmful. Uh, Here are three ways in general that laughter is good for a healthier heart: increasing blood flow, lessening stress hormones that can cause your blood vessels to constrict, and reducing your risk of a heart attack. To another reason to definitely embrace laughter in your life. Uh, there are definitely ways you can get more laughter in your life, and sometimes it's just to open your spirit to joy. A good case of the giggles can boost your mood. Uh, but to get the full effect of laughter, it's more about lightening your overall mood than adding laugh to your to-do list. Like all of us need, oh, now I have pressure to laugh every day. It's not going to work. Think about laughter as a lifestyle rather than a prescription. Live your life with that sense of happiness and childish joy, unrestricted ability to see the lightheartedness of so much of the world. Even just taking a moment to really reflect on things that bring you joy can be a good place to start. When you're in a funk, one exercise that I recommend is to just think back to something that usually would make you smile. For some people, it might be a song. For some people, it's a walk around the block. For some people, it's just sitting out on the deck in the sunshine. That's enough to do it for you to lighten the mood. Think about something that would normally make you smile or laugh and engage with that thought purposefully for a few minutes. Take a stroll down that particular happy path in your memory lane. Imagine a happy scenario can really help you relax your mind and your body. And for a more complete effect, make the time to do things that make you happy too. That's what my day today is focused on, is taking time to do things that really bring me joy, that bring that smile to my heart, uh, that lighten my spirit. Uh, there's a fancy word for that if you want to call it behavioral activation, but it's a way that you take time for the pleasure that is a part of everyone's life that we sometimes forget and stuff away to be looked at later. Uh, we tend to want to put happiness at the bottom of the list. Sound familiar? We've talked about prioritizing our lives, and, where does your sense of happiness uh, come? Do you focus more on your sense of obligation, or do you focus on the joy of happiness and how it carries through into every other part of your life as well? Uh, but it's doing things we enjoy that will relieve the stress of our lives more than completing the long list of things that we feel we have to do. That sense of balance is so important. Make room in your life for joy in your life, to take moments that you can purely enjoy. And sometimes they come up so unexpectedly. You can just be sitting there quietly, thinking no great thoughts whatsoever, and an opportunity will present yourself. And I'll close what I have to say on this topic with a little story that I think illustrates just how unexpectedly it can come and how the ripple effect it creates is real and will go on to others. Habits like self-care, exercise, meditation can have a similar effect on your parasympathetic nervous system and set the stage so that when something funny happens, you'll be in a laughing kind of mood and it just won't pass you by. Can you laugh too much? I guess you probably could. Laughing at a joke or cracking up when you see something just strikes you funny is one thing. Uh, Consistently shrugging off other emotions and using humor to mask what may really be going on is something to be wary of, though, because you can be covering up things that you really need to take out, look at, address, and move forward on. Humor can be really helpful when it comes to coping with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. But on the other hand, If you find that cracking jokes is what you default to in times of stress, and that you're always turning to humor rather than processing how you're really feeling, I think it's important to give that a good look because sometimes it's a masking behavior, a cover up, if you will. Similarly, laughing at others' expense and self depreciating humor aren't going to give us the same chill vibe. So it's best to keep the comedy on the up and up. I know, depending on where we are at what point in our lives, some of the, and I'm going to put quotes around this, jokes that we sometimes post to each other uh, are sort of an owie for me because maybe I'm not in that headspace when I read that and I think, ooh, you know, mm, laughter can be a double-edged sword, and you want to be sure you know yourself and you know your audience and how you're using this joy you should be feeling. And laughter truly can be the best medicine, and incorporated with a certain lightheartedness in your life can give your nervous system a break from the stress that is so often a part of the lives that we live in this busy space right now. Uh, I'll close this with just how spontaneous laughter can bring itself. I was traveling, and it was a trip that I needed to leave very early in the morning to be able to catch my plane to take. And so I had done almost everything the night before, set my clothes out, and was ready to get up at some dreadful hour in the morning. I think it was like 2:30 a.m. I had to get up and leave to go to drive to get to the airport to get my plane to get to where I was going because there was a huge time zone difference as I traveled. So this was necessary. So I had done all that and I was ready and I was excited and I was looking forward to it. And, it was a little stressful and you know how that goes. Anyway, I get to the airport, I check in, everything went fine, checked my luggage through, found my seat, sit down, sighed a great sigh of relief. I'm here, all's good. I'm right with the world. And I looked down at my feet, crossed beneath the seat in front of me. I had on two different shoes. And I thought, well, isn't this just so very special? And there was a very conservatively dressed, immaculate gentleman sitting across the aisle from me. And I had been upgraded to first class. So, I mean, this was a really great day for me because I never get upgraded. But I looked at him and I thought, oh, just the luck. And he looks over at me and he sort of glanced down at my feet and looked away very quickly. And I thought, well, do I own it or am I embarrassed by it? And I thought, oh, let me share it with him. And so he looked over a couple more times and I recrossed my feet so he could get a good look and he could clearly see that, yes, in fact, that woman has on two different shoes. And so I turned around and I looked at him and I said, I see you're noticing my footwear. And he sort of looked down. He was a little bit embarrassed. And he said, well, yes, I am. And I said, well, I'm so glad you like them. I have another pair exactly like them that are brand new at home. So I can be sure to be able to wear them often. And he started laughing. It was his best moment, and it became my moment too. I mean, laughter is great. Go out and find someone with you whom you can share joy. Don't take everything in your life so seriously. Most of it in 100 years is not going to matter that much anyway. So have a great day. Take time to be happy and enjoy yourself. And I will check in with you later. Bye for now.